This is the Mad Scientist Memo. The Mad Scientist Memo. Here we go.
The year is 2026. Cat videos, hospital records, secret government documents. They all exist in the vast expanse of the internet.
The internet,
Yes.
the depth of which is absolutely, utterly unfathomable to my brain.
Yes. Now imagine all of this unfathomable amount of data stored inside one shoebox sized container of DNA.
You have got to be kidding me, Shreya.
Welcome to the Mad Scientist Memo.
I'm Zahra,
And I'm Shreya.
and today what we're going to be talking about?
We are talking about a new storage medium, one that is 100 million times denser than any high-end hard drive you can find, absolutely anywhere. Our laptop is probably going to be struggling to keep its own data intact for like a decade, maybe
You're
20
right.
years max. But nature's hard drive,
Da-da-da-da-da. DNA.
DNA. We can probably encrypt and find out the DNA sequencing of a woolly mammoth
You're
from
right.
like his teeth alone.
And
right?
time doesn't even factor into storage of that information. You're right. But
Exactly.
how? How is that possible?
Yes. Now, let's say I have a cute little dog. I've taken a cute little photo of him. How do I go about it? How do I store this data, this information into a strand of DNA?
So we start at the beginning, which is how storage of data works even right now. We store it in an image is basically a collection of 0 and 1, which is the binary code that computers run on, and we have heard this a million times over.
Yeah.
So an image is essentially something like 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1.
That was a nice challenge. Try to decode that. What images they are talking about?
At this stage, it's no different from an audio file or a
Yeah.
video, and it's very distinctive for the image.
Right.
So now, binary data, let's convert that into DNA's language.
Yes.
So
Which
binary
is-
data is like two words, right? 0 and 1. However, DNA has 4 sort of letters coding it, which is A, T, G, C.
Yes.
Adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine.
Yeah. So when we say that computational data is numerical and binary, like you said, 0 and 1, biological DNAs are
Quaternary.
quaternary. Yes.
Okay. So now you've converted your 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, whatever, into A, G, C, T, T, C, something of that sort. And in practice, this mapping would be slightly tweaked and adjusted so that it avoids long repeats and extreme GC content just for the stability of that DNA. Next, what we do? Next, we break the DNA into manageable chunks.
Yeah.
Okay, that's because DNA synthesis and the process of storage and replication of DNA and stuff is not infallible. Therefore, we split the data into chunks and we make multiple copies.
It's just to make
Of
it
the
more
chunks.
digestible for the system.
So when you make it into chunks, it's kind of like how data packets work in data transfer, right?
Yeah. So each of these packet would have like an index, which is basically address. So when the computer knows where exactly to place this particular piece of this huge puzzle.
Yeah,
Then
right.
there's the payload, which is the actual image data. So all the hardcore information is here. Then we also have some error correction formalities, right?
Yeah.
To just make sure everything is in check.
Yeah. So now you store multiple copies of each chunk and then you chemically synthesize the DNA base by base.
Right. So this is kind of crazy. There has been a lot of previous methods that we used, but right now the 2026 clinical standard is to use enzymatic synthesis.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happens here is there are some DNA synthesizers which build this DNA base by base. So each strand is going to physically embody parts of that image, quite literally. Your data is no longer just electricity, it's matter.
I can't even, that doesn't even make sense, but that's so cool. You think about the prospect, something like that. could
I
hold.
know, and there is, okay, let's look at some of the theoretical limits, right?
Okay.
It says the source of science. It says that, the magazine Science, not just the abstract idea of science, is an article by Ehrlich. And this talks about how DNA could store about 215 petabytes per gram.
So
This
going
means
back to
it could store 215 million gigabytes in
okay.
a speck of dust. If you filled a teaspoon with DNA, you could have enough room to store the entire history of human knowledge. Twice. It's
That's just the
nuts.
the what's it called? The magnitude of that is beyond anything we have that we deal with.
I know. And right now we're coming to a stage of actual practicality. You know, CNRS. There is a particular experimentation led by Mark Antonini.
Okay.
This industry has now developed a formal JPEG DNA standard.
So that's how forward.
That's how forward we have come. This isn't just some image, right? It's a specialized compression algorithm that's going to account for all of this biological noise, all these variables, and it's going to ensure that when you sequence this particular DNA, the image reconstructs with 100% fidelity without any pixel loss.
That's great. That's amazing for my dog picture.
The cute dog picture, yes. Okay, let's actually bleed into the practical aspects, because it's not all just theories, it's not all just stories. There have been a lot of compliant experiments that have been very, very, very successful.
Yeah, it's not just
in
an
conducting
abstract
all of
idea.
this.
It is the future, or
Yep.
it should be the future.
Yep. Okay. You know, in 2000, this is a fun one actually. You know, in 2017, a Harvard geneticist and
Okay.
his team, which was led by George Church, they took this 19th century moving image of a galloping horse. By moving image, I basically mean a GIF. And they used CRISPR to paste the frames directly into the genome of living E. coli bacteria.
Bacteria.
Yeah. You know what happened? The bacteria, they grew, they multiplied, and after multiple generations, the scientists sequenced the bacteria's DNA and they replayed the movie. It was perfect. It was perfect. It was glorious. It was everything.
And you've got to be kidding me. Are you telling me the same bacteria that causes me like cough and cold and all that inconvenience is now storing my data?
It's now recreating horse movies.
Galloping horse
It's
gifs.
every horse girl's dream.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, there have also been a lot of clinical breakthroughs. One particularly is a clinical MRI breakthrough. So, in a world's very first, there were researchers at the Tianjin University and the associated hospitals, and they successfully stored data from a brain MRI scan into DNA. It was 11.28 MB worth of data, and they used a breakthrough coding scheme which is called DNA palette.
Okay.
Okay, and this is nuts, right? But why
Yeah.
exactly is this nuts? It's because clinical MRIs are incredibly complex.
Huh.
Think about it. Every micro detail in it is going to have a huge clinical
You're right.
implication. But they proved that they could reconstruct a human brain's diagnostic data from a synthetic molecule. And
Of
guess
DNA.
how much error was there?
How much?
Zero.
What?
Zero errors. This isn't just for text. It's like it's the highest stakes in medicine.
I
Come
know.
on.
It could change our reality,
I know.
essentially.
They also try to encrypt like alive data. Microsoft actually and the University of Washington, what they did is they successfully stored a high definition music video of the band OK Go. Have you heard?
No.
Okay.
However.
Okay, go.
Okay, go.
A
However.
100 MB archive of books and even a $50 Amazon gift card in DNA. They then read the gift card and redeemed it. Crazy.
I don't know if I have to. I don't know if it's scary or if it's funny or if it's amazing. If I should laugh, if I should cry. But the sky's the limit, and the sky's not even the limit at this
You
point.
know what, Zara? You could do all of it. And then we could take all of it. And then we could
Store it
somewhere.
in a
You know,
DNA,
in a tiny speck of DNA.
and I could put it on a spoon, and it would just lay there.
You could just lay there. You know, this is opening us up into also a plethora of problems that, like,
Yeah.
would you even consider having these? Like,
At this point, anything that has DNA can potentially have so much repercussion.
exactly
In the
anything
sense, it would have data and it would have so much volume of data. So the next time you spit on someone, think twice, sort of.
Yeah.
It's-
Exactly. Because like basically, see, the DNA that stores all this information that could be used as malware, right? Like, what if you encode a malicious computer virus into a strand of synthetic DNA? This DNA is put into a sequencer to read, and boom, this software has turned into a biological weapon. It can now hack the system.
So things
all
we-
your information is now gone.
Yeah.
The information of the entire universe, apparently.
So now it's becoming like circumstances that we didn't even have to think about would potentially become problems or issues that we have to deal with.
Of course, with every new innovation comes
Yeah.
a plethora.
A plethora. I think the single word that encapsulates this episode is plethora and unfathomable.
Plethora, unfathomable, and do not spit on people.
Do not.
Those were like the three things about it. Do you have anything to add other than awe? Pure awe?
Absolutely. I'm flabbergasted. I am speechless, and I can't wait to store. I can't wait to get a DNA to store stuff when my iPad runs out of storage.
Yes.
We'll upgrade not to a new iPad but to DNA.
To the labs.
Absolutely. That's
So
it.
guys,
That's it for this episode. Thank
we
you
just
so much.
wanted to give you a little bit of an insight into the
Next
absolute
time, don't
crazy
buy
nonsense.
iCloud storage.
Next time, don't. Okay, bye.
I think we should stop it there.